Good afternoon. Welcome to Maria's Cooking channel. This afternoon we'll be making taquitos de asada and una sopa, a sopa. The sopa, I'm gonna add, I cut up a chicken breast. Sorry, my hair's not all there, but at least I'm up and doing something after my surgery. But I cut up one chicken breast. So what I will do here is turn on my stove. Oh, lordy, lordy. Let me put this down so I can turn it on. I have to ignite it on. Ooh. Okay, my pan is washed, and I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. I know a lot of people say, yeah, washing hands, washing hands. First thing you have to do is wash your hands, especially with all this going around. I have a couple of things to say. Let me get right back to you guys here. Hold on. I have a couple of things to say to you guys. Thank you for all you who were praying for me while I went through, while I was at the hospital. I'm adding a little bit of avocado oil to the bottom of the pan. Like 2 teaspoons, 2 tablespoons more likely. And then I'm gonna add my chicken here. First you wanna sear your chicken through all sides and make sure it's cooked right. And it's gonna finish cooking in the sopa when you put the liquids in there. So it really doesn't. And remember, when you're handling chicken, always wash your hands before you go back and cook something else and wash your board. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube and Facebook that don't do it, that don't wash their hands and don't sanitize after the whole chicken. I've always have. I don't know what those people are doing. Okay. I'm going to show you guys here. Turn the camera. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. I want to cook it on high. Okay. The reason I'm making the sopa is the doctor wants me eating a lot of protein due to my surgery. A lot of protein. So I'm making the tacos for the boys, and I'll probably eat one, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to eat very good, and they're forcing me to eat, the doctor and my parents. But anyways, you're searing the chicken through all sides. Okay, make sure it gets well seared. You want to get it to the point where it has the caramelization like this one right here. Do you guys see that one? That's how you guys want to get it. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to set the spoon here aside. Put you guys back down here. But we're going to head this way so I can cut my veggies for the sopa. Here I have some beans. Woohoo! Those are hot. To these beans, I added bacon fat. I cooked the beans, they're pinot beans. I cooked them today, during the day. I put them in the fridge, but then I come over here and I smash some for the kids to eat. They like to eat with tortillas, flour tortillas, corn tortillas. It doesn't matter any kind of tortillas as long as it's a tortilla with beans. But anyways, I'll show you guys here the beans. What I added inside was the bacon fat after I rendered it from this morning's breakfast. So I added it to the bottom before I added the beans. And then I let the oil get hot, hot, hot. And then I add a little bit of chipotle powder, which is this, and a little bit of onion powder. And since they didn't have very much salt, I added a little bit more extra salt. So it had a little bit of extra juice. So what you're gonna do is let the juice finish so the beans can be thick. You know what I mean? So you're gonna let this cook for like half an hour and then you'll turn it off. And these beans will be perfect. Luisi! My Lord. I'm sorry, people. Sorry. I'm gonna set you guys up here. So you want to make sure you have your chicken well seared. Like I said, it doesn't have to be completely cooked because it's going to finish cooking inside the sopa juice, inside the water. Because what I'm going to add here, instead of water that you add to the sopa to make it like a soupy, I'm going to add the juice from the meat that I cooked for the tacos. Okay? So instead of doing that, we will add the water from the taco meat. Okay, I have some scallions here. I'm gonna cut. Let me see if I can get through here. Sorry, let me. Okay, we're ready. Take off these rubber bands. They put so many rubber bands on these scallions. Okay, we're gonna add, let's add 3, okay? They're not that big and they're not that small, they're just perfect. Okay. I'm gonna wash them real quick. Make sure you wash them with cold water, not hot. Shake them off a little bit so you don't bring so much water over to the counter. Well, anyways, like I was telling you guys, I was a week in the hospital as I cut these scallions here. I'll tell you guys what I'm doing with them here. Hold on. I cut the ends off. Okay. Throwing that in the garbage. I'm gonna cut like, let's say, this much off and let the rest in there. Okay? So anyways, I was in the hospital. Oh man, it was the longest time of my life. I felt like I was going to be in there forever. So, my parents would go every day. My kids tried to go, but they didn't let them in. They only let my parents in for some reason. I thank God for my parents that were always there. It took a lot of me to do this surgery. It's gonna take a while for me to fully. I'm gonna grab a plate and take out the chicken while I fry a little bit of the noodles while I fry them. You don't want it to overcook. Woohoo! Dump the oil. Wow. It has a little bit too much, like parts of the chicken that came off and fried a little bit extra. So I'll just take that out. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm not going to add the whole because these come in 7.05 ounces or 200 grams of noodles. I'm not going to add the whole thing because it's just me that eats. Because the boys, the one that probably will eat will be Daniel and Ari, maybe, his girlfriend. But anyways, I'm going to make just half of the bag. Okay. So I'm going to open it up if I can. Went a little bit more than extra, but oh well. Okay, bring you guys back over this way. I'm gonna switch you guys over here. I haven't done a YouTube recording in a while, so if you guys notice I'm a little bit nervous, it's because I've been doing more Facebook, but today for some reason I said I'm gonna do a YouTube video today. See if I can get my numbers up high. Please like and comment and share my videos so I can grow, please. I'd greatly appreciate you guys if you guys do that. Anyways, I was in the hospital because, oh my God, they found two weeks ago, I went to my parents', I think I told Facebook. I went to my parents' house and guess what? My dad has wood logs, the ones that decorate the flower beds. And I didn't see it. I forgot it was there. And I slipped and fell. And I caught my toe that had the ulcer on there. I ruptured the whole finger. It ruptured. I mean, it was, you wouldn't want to see it. It wasn't good looking. But I went to the doctor. I was kind of scared. For some reason that morning when I was getting ready, that my dad called me, he kept on calling me and saying, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm almost ready. Hold on." So finally, I was ready. And I went to my doctor's office. She's the best. But anyways, I was nervous. I hadn't told my parents nothing. My kids knew, but they wouldn't say anything because I told them not to say anything, to keep it quiet. I was working. God only knows how I was working like that. I've been suffering from this ulcer for 7 years. I went through chemo because they said I had some type of cancer. I went through chemo and everything, and painful. But thank God I did it. I went through all the chemo, and then I started seeing Dr. Meady. And after my accident this last time, I was having trouble getting in to see her because she was busy and busy and busy and busy. So finally one day I called the office and they said, yeah, we have an opening, come on in. And I was nervous all the way over there on the road. I was quiet. I was quiet because I knew, I had a feeling something was going to happen. I had a feeling that I was going to be retained at the hospital, that they were going to hold me there because of how ugly my finger looked, my toe looked. Sorry, it's not a finger. They don't let everybody go in the office, but I asked the doctor if my dad can go in, because me and my dad have a bond. It's one of a kind bond. He's always been there for me. So I went in first by myself. We're gonna add this scallion and a little bit of the poblano pepper to the noodle. I'll show you guys here in a bit. Let me get this over here. Okay, I'm gonna switch you guys over here now. Sorry. Anyways, I went in first. And Dr. Meady said, who's with you? And I said, my mom and dad, they're downstairs in the car, in the van. She goes, you want to call your dad? And I was like, oh my God, my dad's going to get me in trouble. Why I waited so long to do it? Why I waited so long to come to the doctor? So, adding your chicken back in. Okay. Let's add garlic, onion powder, and where is it? And no salsa. Okay. So my dad went in. Him and the doctor started talking, and the doctor goes, Maria, I'm sorry. You're going straight to the hospital. And I went, oh. Told her, what for, doctor? She goes, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the hospital. I need to get IV through you and start giving you antibiotics. This thing is way infected. So my dad took me to the hospital. They registered me in and everything, and my dad again spoke to the doctor, and the doctor said, we're going to be giving her antibiotics for a couple of days and see how it goes, and then from there she will take the decision if she wants to have surgery or not. A lot of thoughts went through my mind. A lot. Thoughts that, what were the people going to say about me? What were the people going to say? because I didn't have my Tomo one. That's what was going through my mind. So the first day passed, they were giving me antibiotics a lot and pain medication because I was in a lot of pain. And then the nights were unbearable. They were real bad because I couldn't sleep because, you know, in the hospital, they're waking you up every hour to take your vitals, to do something. They're always up to something. Okay, I added 2.5 teaspoons of Nor Suiza. Gonna add just a couple of teaspoons of onion powder. I'll show you guys here right now when I'm done adding all this stuff so you guys can see. And then, me being diabetic, they were checking my sugar every hour, making sure I was okay. And second day came, 6 o'clock in the morning. Doctor was there to check me out, to see how it looked, to undress it and see how it looked, to see if you would notice difference with the antibiotics. She looked at it and she says, Maria, let's sit down and talk about this. She goes, you got to really think about it. She says, because this is a hard decision you're going to make, but it's for the best. So I told her, let me think one more day. Being in the hospital, a lot of thoughts were going through my mind. Was I going to be able to walk? Was I going to be able to, I don't know how far up they're going to go. Is something going to happen to me during surgery that, because when I had my last surgery in Mexico, they overdid it and then the anesthesia. And they had a hard time bringing me back to life. A hard time bringing me back to life because they overdid it. So all those thoughts were going through my mind. Am I gonna make it through surgery? That night I did not sleep at all. The nurses kept on coming in and telling me, you need to sleep, tomorrow you're having surgery. Or tomorrow the doctor's gonna come and check you and you're gonna decide if yes or no, they will tell me. And that's what the doctor did early in the morning. She came and she undressed it. And she said, what'd you think? She said. I sighed and told her, well, if you say it's the best for me, if you say it's the best thing that could happen and that I won't suffer anymore, God told me just go through it. Go through it. So I did. I told the doctor, I'll have it. Let's go for it. It's safe. Before more infection gets bad. Add a little bit more, just water, filtered water. And I told her, yeah, let's go for it. She says, are you sure? I said, yeah, doctor, I've never been that sure. I want to stop suffering because it was painful. Let alone that I have neuropathy, fibromyalgia, and all those illnesses. I told her, let's go for it. She says, okay, Maria. So that night, or that morning, I called my dad and I said, Dad, I'm going into surgery. He says, what time? I said, 1. He goes, okay, we're on our way over there. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. He says, make sure the doctor knows I'm there, and when you come out of surgery, for her to come and tell me how it went. I said, okay. So the doctor came for me and everything, right? And I'm just going to strain it through this sifter. Hold on, I'll be right there. I'll be right there, hold on, please. Put babies in the water with the meat to cook. Make sure you wash it all good. All in here. I remember I put some cloves in there, so I gotta take those out. That you put to boil with it. Here it is. So it was 3. I have 3 right there. So the day came, or the moment came that they were taking me back. I was like going crazy because I thought I was gonna hurt everything they were doing, that I was gonna feel everything, that maybe they weren't gonna put enough anesthesia, or maybe they weren't gonna do the full body, and I was gonna see everything. I told her I didn't want to see anything. So they did the block and they put me to sleep. By the time I knew it, I was being wheeled back to my room, and I was like, what are you guys doing? They said, we're done. I'm like, what? We're done? What do you mean you're done? I said, yeah, we're done. You already had surgery. And the doctor goes, remove the toe, just right to the line. So I didn't have to go any farther up. She says, we caught it on time. Good thing you decided to do it. But maybe I wouldn't have had this surgery, or maybe, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts going through my head because I was working fine. I was working fine, ad hoc. I was having a little bit of pain from the fibromyalgia and all the problems that I go through, right? We're gonna last taste it for, see if it has enough salt. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We're gonna grab a little bit of cilantro. Okay. Wash it. Sometimes there is sand in the cilantro. I don't know where it comes from. Don't know where it comes from, but it comes with a lot of sand and dirt. So I just grabbed a handful, not very much. Put this back up here. All my spices. And I came out of surgery, and I was so happy that I didn't feel nothing, but a while later, I started feeling everything. I was in a lot of pain. They kept me medicated, trying to see if I can sleep a little because I hadn't slept for days. And they kept me medicated, well medicated, with antibiotics. You add just a handful of cilantro. Make sure you wash it like I did. When you're cutting, make sure you don't have your finger in the way. So, okay. Add it in here. Okay. Always a lot of dishes afterwards. But anyways, I don't know what spoon I was using here. Oh, I almost slipped. I'm not supposed to be in the kitchen, but who's gonna be cooking to eat? You know, it's hard. You taste one of the pastas. These are little shells. They're still a little bit hard al dente, so we're gonna cook it just a little bit more. That is good. Very good. To the meat, we are gonna add a little bit of avocado oil. I was gonna make fresh corn tortillas, but I'm not feeling very good right now. I'm starting to feel a little bit on the shaky side. So that means I need to go and do what the doctor told me and not be in the kitchen. But I felt the necessity of cooking, making something that I really wanted. It was the soup, this fideo, this sopa, we call it in Spanish. You guys in English would call it soup. Once again, I did one chicken breast, cut it up in little cubes, about this big. Okay? You cook the chicken You sear it on all sides first. Make sure you sear it pretty good and it has like a light brown caramelization on the meat. And then, this is how soft this meat is because you boiled it. No salt. So what we're going to add to that is adobo. Okay? You need to be careful with this because a lot of people sometimes overdo it. So just be careful when you're doing adobo seasoning. So after my surgery, the doctor had to leave me open because there was still too much pus inside and blood that needed to come out. So she left it open, but she wrapped it. So I was open like for 2 days. I'm not going to complain of the hospital. There were some nurses that would overdo it. You'd call them and they would take forever to get there. So that's why half of the time I get up myself, even though I wasn't supposed to. Even though I wasn't supposed to because I had just had surgery. And they were scared that I was going to fall. But you would call them and they wouldn't come. And ever since I had my gallbladder, when you have to go, you have to go. You can't wait for them to come. So, most of the nurses were okay. There was, like I said, a couple that were, I felt that were doing it just to get you mad. God, can't put this lid back on. They were fine. So Dr. Meaty is one of the best doctors that I have had. Dr. Childs, the guy I was seeing before, went out to. Needs more salt, so I'm gonna add a little bit of extra more adobo. So you need to watch it when you're adding it. Just add a little bit, stir it, taste it, and then you can decide if it needs more or not. Okay, make sure you stir it all because you don't want to not mix it all and then get a part that has a lot of the salt on there, a lot of the seasoning.